1 Corinthians chapter 13, 1 through 13, from the Contemporary English Version. Paul calls the followers of the way in Corinth to stop fighting. What if I could speak all languages of humans and of angels? If I did not love others, I would be nothing more than a noisy gong or a clanging bell. What if I could prophesy and understand all secrets and all knowledge? And what if I had faith that moved mountains? I would be nothing unless I loved others. What if I gave away all that I owned and let myself be burned alive? I would gain nothing unless I loved others. Love is kind and patient, never jealous, boastful, proud, or rude. Love isn't selfish or quick-tempered. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs that others do. Love rejoices in the truth, but not in evil. Love is always supportive, loyal, hopeful, and trusting. Love never fails. Everyone who prophesies will stop, and unknown languages will no longer be spoken. All that we know will be forgotten. We don't know everything, and our prophecies are not complete. But what is perfect will someday appear, and what isn't perfect will then disappear. When we were children, we thought and reasoned as children do. But when we grew up, we quit our childish ways. Now all we can see of God is like a cloudy picture in a mirror. Later we will see face to face. We don't know everything, but then we will, just as God completely understands us. For now there is faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these three is love.
Where is love? Does it fall from skies above? Is it underneath the willow tree that I've been dreaming of? Recognize that plaintive melody from the musical Oliver, sung by the young Oliver Twist, who is trying to find love. Agape love is what he's looking for, I think. And he's been raised in an orphanage that has this sign up there that says, God is love. There is no love in this place. It's no wonder that Oliver is trying to find love, to find connection, to find relationship. The passage this morning is a familiar one to us, and it comes from 1 Corinthians, a letter that Paul wrote to a group of people who lived in the city of Corinth in Greece. And this wasn't just an ordinary bunch of people. I like to call them the pesky Corinthians, because they didn't get along. Corinth this is a map that shows some of Paul's journeys to visit those cities we have now books in the Bible that are letters to the church of Corinth, Corinthians, the Philippians, the Ephesians, Galatians. These are all places that had groups of folks who were following Jesus. They call themselves followers of the way. They were not church like this, but they were groups of people who thought that what Jesus had to say was something that could help them in their own lives. So Corinth is right there. It's a major trade route. It's on this skinny isthmus between the two major chunks of Greece. And so there was all kinds of trade that happened there. It was a very bustling city with all kinds of people, and it was also a religious center. There were temples to Greek gods there. Now, the community that gathered as followers of the way was an extremely diverse one. And these are some of the things that made them diverse. They were different ethnicities, gender, age, rank, status, life situation. Kind of like church, right? Hello? I want to be sure that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, does it sound familiar to you? Although we tend to group in like clusters, but still, we have differences among us. And Paul was trying to get them to figure out how to even get along with each other, much less come together as a community. So the letter was specifically sent to them because they had these issues. This part, 1 Corinthians 13, has 3 sections really. He starts by saying, you can think you're pretty good. You can know all you know. You can move mountains. But without love, you're an empty shell. You may have power and knowledge and all of that. But unless you have love, you're nothing. Then, this is my favorite part. Here's the things love is and isn't. It could not be more clear. Love is patient, kind, truthful, supportive, loyal, trusting. Love is not arrogant, rude, boastful, envious, selfish, and quick-tempered. Now, this passage is often read at weddings, and it's quite clear that Paul isn't talking about eros, romantic love. However, any kind of relationship, whether it be a romantic one or a platonic one, is going to have these characteristics in it in order for it to function properly. So this isn't a romantic love song that Paul's singing to them. He's saying, if you folks want to live together in community, these are some of the things that would be helpful to you. Then the third part of this, and he says, love never fails. Love doesn't quit. I remember my mother was very clear. She said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And there was not argument in our household. And when I was finally an adult and out and in a relationship with someone, I didn't know how to argue. And this person made me stay in the argument until it ended. It was one of the most significant learnings of my adult life, that love never quits. You don't walk away when you have difference with someone. You resolve it. What was it, Ann Landers or Dear Abby would say, don't go to bed angry. Love never quits. The third part of this section of the love chapter of Corinthians is about growth. When I was a child, I did it this way. As an adult, I will do it this way. So love isn't a static kind of a thing. It's something that we learn how to do. You don't all of a sudden say, oh, okay, I'm going to be a loving person. And from then on you are. It takes practice. It takes learning. It takes maturity to get to that point. And I think it's amazing that Paul had the insight he did in this part of the letter and in a lot of other places to suggest these kinds of things so people could actually grab hold of what he was saying. Now you might notice that the sign out on the street has this quote on it, love expects tomorrow. This is part of a paraphrase of the 1 Corinthians 13 chapter by John Bell, who lives in Scotland and works often on the island of Iona with an interdenominational group of folks who are a contemplative community. And I think this line is brilliant. Love expects tomorrow. It encompasses all of those things about love that Paul talks about. And the reason they're important is there's something more coming. And that, I think, is important for us to remember as we think about our own ways of loving and being in relationship. So, where is love? You got any ideas? Everywhere. Everywhere. That's a good one. What did you say? All around. Yes? At home. That's a good thing. Yeah. Where is love?
Within.
Within. Bingo, you win the prize. We say all the time, God is love. And if we are in relationship with God, God is in us, and love is in us.
Amen.
If we can learn how to follow the path that Paul proposes to the Corinthians, you can't miss that relationships will be fuller, that communities will be more powerful and more significant in the work they do, if we can understand that love is in each and every one of us, if we can choose to live our life from that place of love.